see eye to eye with you on my behavior in the call, and I was like, yeah, oh, for you, right? That's inappropriate. It has nothing to do with you or me, right? That was insensitive and inappropriate. So that
and
part,
and also on top of that, my original reaction was that this is sensitive matters. I have a policy usually to never cover sensitive matters immediately as soon as it happens. This happens all the time. I cover the news pretty much 24/7. And for that reason, we even will often block certain terms because people keep bringing it up, whether it be a mass shooting or whether it be something as serious as a sexual assault accusation within the community. This is precisely why I reacted the way I did. Not sure what your expectation of me was in my original reaction, just to go,
I
wow.
think it was the reaction with Pokey, right? It was just that initial reaction of kind of dismissing. That was what I was referring to. But when you later went and said what you just said, that is more appropriate, right?
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that the initial reaction wasn't either neutral or understanding. It's more towards the other side. And he says that sometimes when a big platform happens is that things snowball and will kind of like, even if it's a small word or a small gesture, it takes like a second, it can have repercussions that are of size. I think that's what he means by that, right? Fine.
Oh, you're talking to me? Yes. Oh. For the initial reaction, your second, right? The second thing you said about how you want to get all the information, you don't want to go over the sensitive topic and give the wrong ideas. That is the appropriate way to go about it. So
that is what I did.
The second attempt was very good. Yes,
it's not a second attempt. It was like literally what you talk about how things are clipped out of context so regularly, and I'm sure things get clipped out of context for you all the time. We spent a long time talking about how you got clipped out of context when you were having a conversation with Will. You understand that the longer context of that, which was a little bit over, I guess, 20 seconds, would have shown you immediately that was my original reaction in that day. That was my original reaction in general. Which is
but what I was referring
to is that your vague post was confusing to me, as it was almost universally to others, and that I
but if I recall,
I said I need more information before I can make an assessment. Not that it matters. You're saying you're not apologizing for that. You're saying you're apologizing for laughing about it or getting excited about it.
Yeah, in the Discord call where I made it about you and me, that was highly inappropriate and that was wrong of me, and I apologize for that. Yes.
Listen.
What the fuck is this? Chew your food. Chew your food.
Listen. Something important. Come. Okay, fair enough. Motherfucker, fuck you, man. Yeah. Sometimes, are you familiar with cognitive dissonance? Right? Well, initial reactions are important because. Okay. Hold up. Sorry about that. Initial reactions are important because if you say something in your initial stance that is one thing, right? Then it's very, very difficult to tackle this idea away from people that are watching to make a new one, right? That's just how that's how everything is, right? It's why, like, debunking and defending is much harder because once you've said something or reacted a certain way, right? You've planted an idea in everybody's head, and now working against that to toss that away and make a new one is much harder than it was to plant the initial idea itself initially. That's just how it works. It's like basic psychology. Literally. Do you understand how that works or not?
Yes.
You get that?
Yeah. So I was juicing up so I could stay here.
Debunking, removing, disproving an idea is much harder than to intake an idea from the get-go. It's just how it is. It's why what? Okay. Now we can move on from that. I think you apologize for that. That was fine because you made more about you guys than the topic at hand. I had to apologize for that initially a while back. I think the whole site was fucking absolutely shit, dumbhead. I think I'm not gonna blame the people, but I think things escalated and make things that since they're live made things like completely just getting things crazy. Yeah. People say says you. I mean, I tried to pull out, and people saying, "Oh, so silent now." So I think it was so cooked up. Okay, who am I talking to? I don't know. I think you guys are watching comments on Reddit. I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys are reading the Bible. Like
bro, X. I am. It's inappropriate right now. I'll tell you.
Oh,
Here, I'll type it.
Yeah. Some girl on Twitter has popped up. She's got massive titties, and you're breaking the fuck up. You can't
no, bro. Listen, no. It's really not. Here, I'll type it in this group DM.
I mean, if you're gonna type it, just at least send the fucking pictures.
You want to send the picture?
Yeah.
Okay, just look. Okay.
Come on.
God, bro, you're gonna
send it. Just send it.
I'm sending it to you right now, bro. You're gonna go nuts.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No. You're gonna go nuts, bro.
What, this?
No, not that.
No, just
no. That's you looking like a hypocrite. Because
No. Go ahead. No, it's not hypocritical at all. Imagine if your friend who made $75,000 last year gave $33 to a coronavirus charity and then wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. The PR push behind this is the billionaire version. Also, the proportions are the same. No, that's precisely what it is. You think that for my overall generation of revenue, the amount of fucking charitable contributions I do is akin to giving $33 to a charity when I make 75 grand a year? You're in the middle of a conversation and you're still looking for gotchas. Like, that is so fucking wild. Anyway, I gotta go.
That was, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're demonstrating that you don't give a shit. Like, I know you didn't want to pull it up right now.
That was an hour ago.
I know, but it's an hour ago and he's still looking for fucking gotchas in here, which this isn't even a fucking gotcha. I already described that.
Wait.
Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan.
You're saying he's as if it's me. Why are you saying he's looking for as if it's me? I didn't send that. The fuck are you talking about? I didn't send that. I'm not looking.
Oh shit, that was XQC.
I'm not looking for gotcha.
I thought that's what you were posting.
My sports bet. I
thought that's what you were posting.
Oh
no, look what I posted.
It's my bad. No, I saw what you posted. I saw what you posted. My bad. I saw that's what you were posting.
Bro, listen, if the
it was XQC. It was XQC that sent this. Mr. Moderator sent this.
Bro, if the Dodgers come back, X, I swear to God, bro, I'll juice you up so fat, bro.
Bro, what the fuck? Wait, hold up. Can they even come back though?
I mean, it's the bottom of the top of the 8th, bottom of the 7th, right? Realistically, Dodgers just need to. If Dodgers come back, it's over. It's over. Dodgers just have to come back.
Yeah, but then the Kings have to win over the fucking Flames.
All right, listen, guys. This has been a wonderful conversation. I feel like it's going in different directions.
Yeah,
let's get back to where we got. So the Discord stuff I conceded to you, right? I told you, listen, that was inappropriate of me, and I apologize for that. So let's go off of that, right? So let's go off of that. X.
Yeah, but I just think that, listen. I let you guys get away with it initially. Okay, since you apologize for that, and you guys are making amends, I think overall during the discussion, nobody want to actually take a step back. I do believe that our first discussion, the first topic of the day, right? I believe I wish Hasan kind of took a step down, and on discussion number 2, I was trying to take a step down. I think that would be fair enough. I mean, if you guys want to do it, it's fair enough. I don't give a fuck. I think the first initial topic, what was it about? Do you guys remember or not? Or do you want
Gambling, Gordon Ramsay, just me being come at by a certain group on Twitch.
That's number 2. What's number 1?
That's number 2? I think it was number 1.
No.
Yeah, because socialism was number 2.
That's 3. Ostonox.
The
Ostonox stuff.
Oh, Ostonox is number 1.
I wish.
Well, to be fair.
What?
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I wish that since he does preach about accountability and moderation and whatnot, I do believe if Hasan saw something, Ostonox went against his beliefs, he would probably find a way to correct it and talk to him.
Yeah.
If it was
no,
bad.
for sure.
But since he sort of agreed with Hasan, he went along with it, which I think Hasan could recognize. And I'll top of that.
I don't think anything he said was false. That's literally what it is. Like his assertion that it was like done specifically for whitewashing the maybe the bad feelings that he has about gambling. That might have been incorrect if you have proof that the charity operation started in 2016, which is like if you're saying that you started the charity in 2016 before you ever did the gambling stuff.
No, listen. I didn't start this charity in 2016. I paid for my core community's mental health care out of my pocket since 2016. Then when I got into a position where I had enough money,
Gambling sponsorships.
I took it. Listen, before gambling, I distributed $3.5 million of my wealth before I took a gambling sponsorship. The gambling I didn't take for the bag. I took because I was gambling. It's an exclusivity contract. This idea that I created a mental health care program and that was perpetuated out of guilt is literal disinformation. It's disinformation being pumped to push a narrative. That was my issue with it. Do you understand? Because I've made it clear in the program itself, in that Twitlonger, it says I've been running since 2016.
So you
this
started
exact ideal. So
you started the organization after, like, when you had the financial security to be able to do so with the Gamba, is what you're saying?
No. I had the financial capabilities to do so when I blew up as a streamer. In 2016, I was like a 300 to 500 viewer Andy. Still
what
doing
year?
it out of
What
my
year
pocket.
would you say? What year would you say you like started the organization then?
I didn't start the organization. That's not my charity.
Sorry, what year did you announce the Rad Mental Health project?
I announced that July 18th, 2022.
It's about a year and a quarter after getting started. If you want to make the equivalency, I think you're capable of making that conclusion, right? And if you want to hold it against them like that, that's fine. I think there's a raw positive here, right? And if you think that there's a massive brain corruption in the way that other piece of content or things do, that I generally think there's a positive here. That I generally think so. Okay, I think something that he could have not done, that he did. So we won't justify. Oh, dude, it's only gamba shit because of PR. I think that goes in the circle. I think nothing good is achieved from that. I think Ostonox is being a dumb fucker.
Yeah, it's inconsistent with what I preach as well. I've been preaching these things for a very long time, right?
Also, Ostonox gives me fucking absolute brain GG.
Well, you did.
And he's not paying my medical bills from showing that shit.
To be fair, listen, I don't even think bringing him up on this scale, like what he does, like if we just leave it to the point of, you know, it being an extension of Hasan, that's fine. But this idea that he's upset us to this level, I think is like, that's what it looks like, but it's not the case, right? Like we're just bringing up where we think when Hasan allows him to do these things, why it looks like it's a extension of Hasan's beliefs, right? But this idea that he's like upset us and trigger us, like at the end of the day, bro, there are 30,000 of this kind of kid, right? He's doing it for this exact reason, bro. This attention is what he's doing. Like, who fucking cares? Let him do what he wants to do. What we're talking about is how he's an extension of Hasan in every other category. So it should apply and carry over that for his terrible takes, that he is also an extension. You can't pick and choose when he's representative of you based on when it works for you and when it does not. That's what we're saying.
That's why I said it is.
Ostonox can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. But for you to pick and choose when it's representational of your views is the problem, because it's not clear to the people on the outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. I had not even covered Ostonox's tweet or anything like that, with the exception of the Gamba one, which I think is a banger.
It is a banger.
But also, what? I thought it was great. Yeah, it was funny.
That is not the problem.
Always, but regardless, what I was going to say is, as far as his assertion that he thinks it might be for PR, that is up to him to make. If he causes disinformation, if he pushes disinformation, then I would tell him that it's disinformation. That's my point. But if you truly think it's libelous, if you think it's like slander, if you think he's like doing something fucked up by lying about you, I mean, that's something you could take up with him. I think you blocked him, but I would just sue him.
No. Let me reiterate this.
I would sue him for defamation.
I'm gonna make a balls to the fucking walls argument here. It sounds crazy. Let's say I didn't argue with your political views, and I thought everything you do damages the world and hurts people. Let's say, right? And I would say, oh, yo, this entire like a turkey fundraiser, well, this is just for PR. You don't actually give a fuck, right?
You wouldn't be the first to make that argument. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, do you think I would be wrong in saying that? And if I was an editor, would you let me get away with saying that or not? So why did you let Ostonox do that for training?
If one of your editors, if one of your editors was making that assertion, okay, I wouldn't give a shit. That's the main difference. If one of your editors, if Art was literally being like, bro, this fucking guy, socialist piece of shit, you know what I mean? Oh, fuck this guy, whatever. I'd be like, yep, that's a part of the fucking noise. Okay.
Well,
not only that, but like, not only that. No. Hold on. Not only that, but you're fucking mods, your community members literally say exactly that every fucking day, Felix. They're saying it right now, motherfucker. With the one instance where they go 2v1, you lost Omega Lol. Half the fucking time, your own community is routinely ripping into my fucking asshole, saying I'm a fake socialist, Andy. Everything is a fucking scam, lol. Oh my God, lol. Wealthy socialist, lol. $5 million house, bozo. They say it all the time, which is fine. It's noise. There's nothing I can do. All I ask, for from every single person, all I ask for, okay, with the exception of the 2v1 still lost Omega Lol, that was very nice for your juicers to say that about me. Thank you. But all I ask for is charitability when they are analyzing what I'm talking about, when they're listening to what I'm talking about, and not run with preconceived notions of what they have. Impartial referee was a pretty funny one too.
What is it? Say $5 house. I have 2 of them. I live in none of them. Dumb fuck.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter
I got 2, pussy bitch.
I know, but
Holy
you have.
Fuck. Shut the fuck up,
you have something very important, which is that 1, they love you. Okay, they're your juicers, and 2, okay, you don't say you're a socialist. They don't understand that this is not conflicting with the values of socialism, but it doesn't matter. Because enough people believe that it is. My main point, my main goal is also regularly trying to address these sorts of things so that there isn't misinformation. It might come across like, a self-serving moment, but ultimately it doesn't matter. It's still the truth. And that's why I advocate for it, even if people fucking lose their shit over the things I say. That's the one thing you can expect from me, no matter what.
Fair juice. All right. Well, so I do think, since there's not enough evidence to support what Train said, maybe his feelings got caught in the wind, and then the juicers, his chatters, your chatters, they made him riled up, and then he was also wrong about carrying that over for that much time. And there is enough evidence to support why his upsetment.
No. That was accurate.
I can't. I lost my job today. I can't moderate this shit. If you guys don't want to say, if you guys don't want to take a step down from any of these 2 first points, fuck it.
I don't think there's any point that I can concede on. I don't know what you want me to.
Here's the thing. Listen. I think here's the biggest misconception in the internet world. This idea that in order for Hasan and I to be friends, we have to share political ideologies. We have to share viewpoints on different things. Like, we can agree to disagree and still be friends. This idea where we have to agree and be on the same page for different things in order to sit here and come together is not realistic and is not a representation of normal friendships outside of streaming, right? That's the issue. So I don't even think we need to, right? Like, there's certain things where I think we're going to agree to disagree on, right? But I think we can still come together and say, yo, what's good? Let's grab some dinner. Let's get naked. Let's, show me that cock. I've been curious how big that thing is. Is it thick? Is it long? What's good? Right? Like, I think it's possible to do that without having to say, okay, well, let's, you understand? Like, that's the issue. This idea where we have to both agree, or concede in order to be friends or to be whatever. Like, all we ask of each other is just to be consistent, right? Just to be consistent with what we preach, be consistent with how we treat each other, right? So if you do something that I believe is hypocritical, and let's say my friend does something that's hypocritical, right? And I let him go and I ostracize you or just demolish you for it, then that's, not fair. Now, if you come at me for gambling, yet, 4 of your friends have fucking gambling sponsorships and you don't say a word or you talk about it here and there, like, then that's an issue, right? But yeah, it's 1 game away, bro. I'm pissed. I'm really angry. Like, it's
all right. It's just, look, I came on to this conversation because I think that I have some issues with the way people perceive me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. No matter what happens, all I ask for is for people to be a little bit more charitable and to stop constantly fucking yelling at me for shit in the same exact way that people on Twitter yell at me. If you want to do so, I can't stop you. But, that's, I think some of those perceptions are shaped by other content creators. Hopefully you can get back to Rocket League now. Your community's been begging for it.
No, okay. They don't want me playing anymore, but I play off stream.
People are demanding
at the end
Rocket League.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like I think the things, right, as far as what's socialism and what's not, we can have that discussion another day. We can agree to disagree on that, regarding, you know, if your actions match your words, blah 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 blah. But I think on the other things that, you know, created disconnect between us. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
I think the things that, you know, maybe caused a disconnect between us, whether it be, you know, the targeting that I felt like was happening, right, or me, you know, me getting a little personal in a situation that was inappropriate for me to get personal in. These kind of things, if we can ensure that they don't happen, and there's more, you know, there's just more of a consistency and a, you know, clear way to handle them, then I think that's where we come together on those things, right? So I've just felt targeted over the years, over the 4 years. I just feel like people just constantly do this, but they don't hold any consistency, right? This gambling thing's the biggest one, which I don't want to get back into it. I'm sure you can agree, if you step away and you look, holy shit, things did silence, but nothing's really changed in regards to, you know, sponsorships, the friends you have pushing sponsorships that are gambling, right?
That goes back to my point. That goes back to my point about charitability, as a matter of fact, because that is precisely what I expect from people, because if they were to watch any of my content, they would know that I have talked about exactly what you're saying time and time again, as a matter of fact, on numerous occasions. Because no matter how much people
outrage, right?
But you have to understand that my assessment of the situation is still going to be just one person's assessment. And not only that, but also I personally understand why people take the concessions that they get.
Yo, you know what, motherfuckers? I'm, you want some outrage? Here's some outrage. Ban all possible gamba or none of it. Because you want to know what? Slots and actual pure gamba is nothing compared to garbage pack opening, loot box openings,
Which
garbage ass
children,
mega
yeah.
gamba gacha dog shit that corrupts and is purely ingrained into children's minds. 2 taps away from $100 spent from their dads and moms' credit cards. That shit creates and fosters behavior
not ready for that
will never heal as they grow up, and that is pushed heavily by everybody. Nobody blinks an eye, but some adult plays a slot. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Such hypocrisy. It's insane.
What he's referring to is, you know, all these video games that have the same psychologist working on them as slot music or slot sounds, right? You have headshot sounds in video games, footstep sounds, gunshot sounds, right? The psychologists who develop both these sounds are one and the same, right? They target the same area of the brain and the same addiction areas. And then when you slide microtransactions into them, that's where things get a little complicated. So that's what XQ is referring to. And that's a truth that I think will come to light in, like, God knows, 5 to 10 years or whatever the fuck that, you know.
Sure, but in the process, if you understand that it's bad, you'll take the W's where you get them, right? And that's basically the point. I recognize all of it's bad, but in the process of looking to ban as much as you possibly can, people are going to understandably take W's wherever they can.
Yeah, but can you understand why the W seems to conveniently land on what Train is doing?
I agree.
The same way where
I think I'm saying is that there was only like 3 or 4 big slot streamers, and then we came late into the meta of Twitch. It was like 2021, 2022, right? When in fact, people were pushing hardcore mass brain corruption gambling through boxes and pack openings since almost the beginning of Twitch, and nobody has ever said a singular thing about it. And I wish there was any sort of energy that was against that at these times, or even today, about any of this shit, but nobody actually cares. And these are systems that are not only, they are targeted on children. They don't target the adult, they target children. And they really make them grow up with the actual root seed thought of gambling. You can't convince me otherwise. That's just the basis of it. The packs, openings, the loot boxes, it's busted. And they see the streamer do it, right? And they don't have to fucking create a depot account on Coinbase and load in crypto and send it over there and sign up over there and make it. They don't have to do all this shit. All they have to do is tab out, open the app, buy points, $100, bing, and they're in. They're 5 taps away from their fucking streamer to go pure gamble hardcore brain dead mode, and nobody actually cares. So where's the energy against these systems? Where is it?
I think I think all gambling is bad, right? So the last thing I want to do is justify lesser evils or justify, greater evils and lesser evils, right? All gambling is bad, but what XQC is saying, and I agree with, is just the consistency, right? Like, you guys claim it's not a targeted thing, it's not about me, you take your wins where you get them, but there is no consistency among these arguments. The goalpost keeps getting moved, right? At first, it was all gambling is bad. Then it went to
I don't know why we're
in the
having
US.
the conversation with me. I've already talked about my perspective on the matter, and I need to pee really bad, so I'm gonna dip out.
Let's both pee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip out. I'm gonna dip out.
Yeah,
I have a very cute vlog from my dog adoption stream that I'm gonna be watching.
What's the consensus, or what's the results of this conversation? Are we meeting up for a round 2? Are we talking again?
I don't know.
Are we giving each other hand jobs? Are we going to dinner? Are we getting a pizza box? Showing up.
I don't know. You can come on the pod when you're in LA. We can hash it out, and then
train it.
I'll have my producer
laughing at?
March actually describe to you in detail what it means to have workers control the means of production and have more labor power.
Right, I have an idea.
And you can bring the moderator in too. We could talk to him.
Sure, that's fine as well. Yeah, no, we can definitely do that as well.
We make the pod whenever he does it, fly in, and on that night we take a 1-hour flight to Vegas, and we gamble hardcore, and then from Vegas we split. You go north, I go south, and I go back home, and you go to Vancouver.
We'll put our entire Twitch yearlies on it.
Fair enough.
Obviously, both of you have more than me on the Twitch yearlies, so it might be a little skewed there, but
yeah, fair enough.
We'll put it on 10, 11, 18, 21.
All right, Train, read the Wikipedia page for socialism before you come on the pod, and then we can have a conversation about it. That's a little bit better than systems surrounding charity.
Jesus, bro, really?
No, that's not even a diss. I'm being serious. It's a definition. It's like not a difference in agreement. Or Lenin, or Marx, Engels.
Well, I think the Marx theory wouldn't help your argument. Would you agree with that? The Marxist theory wouldn't help your argument.
Oh God. Okay, what is the Okay, I have to pee so bad. Can you describe what you mean by the Marxist theory?
Well, let's look it up as well.
No. No. Don't even look it up. Don't even look it up. I see your eyes trailing away. No. Explain it to me in your terms. I don't even want.
Like you read that.
I don't even want to. Okay, we
Let's
can
read it
do
like
that
you
as
read
well. But
socialism.
I just wanted to really hear your genuine your genuine take on what you think Marx's theory
let's read
was.
it. Let's read it like we read the other.
Okay, this is some juicy content. I kind of want to save it for the pod, to be honest. I'm gonna piss my pants. That's the.
You
Marxist.
go piss. I'll go piss.
Okay, no googling while you're on the way to the pisser.
We're pulling up to read it.
By the way, guys, you will never convince me or skew me on my basis of philosophy 101. Okay, I know all the squatty from philosophy. Okay, and yeah, I know all of them. I know Plato, Socrates, Descartes, Nietzsche, Marx, motherfucker. I know all the squad. At Plateau. Yep. I know all of them. These guys don't know. They have to Google it. I don't have to Google. I don't have to Google. That's not necessarily what you think about loot boxes and gambling in games. See, the thing is that genuinely, the FIFA games and whatnot, I think they're fantastic. I love them. I love packs. Let me know. I love pack openings. I love them. Okay, but they engage in a way that you know for a fact what the packs do because they give you free packs. They make the noises and the visuals addicting, right? And they make the ease of access to the menus to buy into the buying points to buy packs. And these are games that are literally made for adolescents and children, right? And that's what creates the highest density of addiction. Want to know how I got addicted to gambling? Opening Pokemon cards. I got addicted. What can I say? And I'm a fucking gambler at heart. Yes, I was probably genetically more prone to addiction in that regard, and I don't mind fucking saying it. Okay. But
Okay.
the reality.
Let's get back to socialism.
Yeah, sure. We're going.
Okay, let's hear. Let's. You think that the like the
I think the general idea of it
would be not favorable to me.
Well, I think it leans more toward putting what you preach into action instead of just leaving it in.
Wait, but just okay. Let's not dance around it. Just okay, pull it up. Fuck it, YOLO, pull it up.
Okay, Marxism.
Yeah,
No, the Marxist definition
just
of
what socialism is.
No, the Marxist definition of socialism, right?
Okay, Marx's definition of socialism.
Who's reading it? I figured you want me to read it?
The Marxist definition of socialism is that of production for use value. An example, direct satisfactory of human needs or economic demands. Therefore, the law of value no longer directs economic activity.
Yes.
Can I continue?
We'll finish
this is how a system should be designed.
In your perspective. Or in his.
No. His perspective is that okay. In order to describe this, what we need to talk about is the economic organization of economy, or the economic organization of society. Okay. And
Hasan, can I stop you real quick? Can I stop you real quick?
What?
Okay. I know you listen, I know you believe in all these things. Do you understand? I know you believe in them. My point is, I would like to see some action behind them so we can enact and start that change.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, but
it's
one of the most fundamental parts about it is coordinated through conscious economic planning. Marxist production for use is coordinated through conscious economic planning. Conscious economic planning is impossible to conduct.
The law of value no longer directs economic activity.
That is impossible to do as a singular person. There is no such assessment of that because it revolves around commodity production. Now, as far as commodity production goes, or as far as like goods and services, right? Entertainment is what we provide. A lot of people will say, work omega lol, and they're right. We're very fortunate, okay? Work doesn't have to be grueling, but regardless. Now, if that is my output, if that is what I'm producing, okay, the way that I can do that is by multiple different ways, right? The capital owner will produce value, right, or will generate value by hiring wage laborers, other people to basically go out and make content, which he then will take a piece off of the top. Okay, that would be especially when you consider how much money he had invested originally, would be what is known as profits. Okay, like Twitch, for example, when they take a percentage of our subscription revenue that we generate, is taking a percentage of the value that we are generating for the platform. Okay? So XQC and I, for example, and yourself as well, whatever your contract is with Twitch,
I don't have a contract
currently
with Twitch.
Okay, well, regardless,
well, except for the premium.
Well, even if you don't have a contract with Twitch, it doesn't matter. Like if you have subscribers on Twitch,
I have a basic subscriber contract.
Yeah,
I don't have your
okay, perfect, exactly. So when you are working for Twitch, when you are basically a very, very insanely high paid contracted employee. We are getting 1099 contracts at the end of the year. That's how we pay our taxes. We are contracted employees. We are generating wage. We're generating value for the platform by streaming. Okay? That is the way you do it. That is the way. Right. That is how you would do it.
And what would you say makes up our streams? What's the number one thing that makes up our entire streams? Would you agree it's chat? Would you agree it's the moderation?
Yes,
the moderators?
chat is supremely important.
On both ends incorrect. It's the servers.
What? It's the what?
Without the servers, you can't go live. You can't broadcast.
Yes, that is actually a good point as well.
But we're
servers are important. The infrastructure is important, which is precisely why, right? The assets that were set in place for us and the logistics that were handled for us beforehand is why we decide that it is adequate for Twitch to take a percentage of this revenue.
No. Wait. It's not adequate to take a percentage of sub revenue at all. The ad revenue, yes, I agree.
That's a great argument, Train. That is actually workers demanding more from the platform that is currently taking their wages.
Who is currently conditioning their workers to believe they're doing us a favor. But in reality, sub revenue is not a primary revenue driver in the business model of live streaming. So to take that is complete greed. But how to translate that into the streamer applying those values within their business models is what we're referring to, right? So that action is what I'm asking to see proportionally.
So without me streaming, there is no revenue for the platform. So I am still the primary, I guess, and there's no like socially necessary use value to streaming technically. But like if we are to consider entertainment as like an important good, I guess, or a commodity that we're producing, even though it's not like a chair in the chair factory or whatever, if we were to consider our output as work, without me clicking the start streaming button every day, there is no value generated. Okay. Someone else might take my place, right? Someone else might take my place. Someone could become the person that is at the crosshairs, right? Yes. Someone could do that. Someone could easily do what I do. It's easily replicable in my opinion. But if there was more worker power, if there was more worker organizing, okay, if workers had more of a say on the platform that they are generating value for, we could put certain safeguard measures to stop the platform from saying, you're just replaceable. Now, this is called collective action. Okay.
Well, that would remove the competition then. Then the content would become worse, and the viewers would get less of what they want.
No, I don't agree with that.
I
think no, because the NBA player union exists, and yet I don't think you would say that there are better basketball players out there on the universe. Do you think that there are better basketball players out there that are somehow being stopped from participating in the NBA?
Behind nepotism?
Well, possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, possibly, yes. But that's, you continue your argument. I don't think,
the NFL, the NBA, no matter how rigged it is, Omega Lol, degenerate sports gambler Andes, is still one of the most meritocratic processes that you can get to, okay? It's still about skill. It's still to a certain level about how much you put in, how hard you work, and about the skill, okay? Even if it's scripted, like sports gambler Andy's say, okay? It's just
sports
true.
Betting is so rigged. Sports betting is so rigged. Holy
yes, sports betting is so rigged from what I understand, and I talked about this in the video if you watch Train.
That shit's wild, bro.
They will cap you if you are actually fucking like leveraging your bets. If you're actually betting too good, they will literally stop you from betting. They put a limit. They inhibit the amount that you can bet. It's not rigged necessarily, but like it implies that, there are people who could technically win a lot of money. And they still limit it. Okay. Anyway.
I think listen. I think where you and I just disagree, right, is just the action versus the words. That's where we disagree. That's it, right? As far as where we come down that, is that enough to put a wedge between you and I's friendship or possibility of friendship, right?
No, I don't think so. I just don't want you to I just don't want you to keep saying that I'm like a hypocritical piece of shit. If you think that, then why would you want to be friends with me? You know what I mean?
Well, if you genuinely, right, like it comes down to what you're, right, if you know what you're doing and you're purposely intentionally doing it, then that's when I wouldn't be friends with you. But if this is just your belief, right? If this is the socialism you believe in, and you're acting consistently with that, I can be friends with you even if I disagree with that interpretation of socialism, right?
He does. I think he does believe that. That's why I wanted you guys to talk to me.
Like if that's what you believe in,
okay,
you believe in that, right?
Also, we didn't even get to the bottom of the socialism thing and why it conflicts.
That fucking scared the hell out of me, bro. Oh my god.
Socialism sucks. Is that what you said?
I think it sucks. I think people have tried it and they failed.
I think you need in between. That's the problem. Listen,
I think the worker sucks because the worker is stupid because the population is stupid. I think people are dumb as bricks. People shouldn't have a say because the people are fucking dumb.
I think people are dumb. You and I had a conversation a long time ago, Felix, about how you were forklift certified and you worked in fucking janitorial duty.
They sleep in the lockers.
But you figured out a way to min-max your sanitation duties, right? You remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you figured out a way to min-max your sanitation duties even though you are Pepega Andy himself. Why? Because through repetition, you figured out the perfect solutions that the manager is never going to know. These are some very meaningful ways in which workers could have a little bit more autonomy in their lives. Now, unfortunately, in a capitalist organization, a corporation decides, oh, you're more efficient. We're just going to fucking now make you do that regardless and pay you the same money.
Okay, yeah, but bro, people would sleep in the lockers, right? On their shifts. And then I would pass and they were all sleeping in the dark. And they would say, oh man, why the fuck would I go, man? We're unionized. I can't get fired. And they didn't give a fuck. And I thought that fucking bricked my brain forever. When I skimmed the contact with this practice, I thought, holy fuck, this is so brain dead. Now at that point, I got corrupted. I got to thinking that it doesn't matter how good of a system you could put it in. Humans will always find ways to crash it for self-benefit and smoke them out, and they will never act because the humans are inherently a dumb species. I'm dumb. I think we're all dumb. I think
human beings are dumb. Yes. You know, here's the thing though. You worked at a factory or a facility, right?
Guys, this is why we need to.
You want to know who made the most money in that situation? It wasn't the fucking janitor that was sleeping. Every now and then he honks shoes and me's a little bit, okay? Yeah, and that's fine on the job. And that's seen as stealing. This is
why we need to push systems, Hasan.
Okay, but hold on. Let me just say something. So that is seen as stealing from the boss. You're sleeping on the company time. Meanwhile, it is never expected of the boss to even enter the fucking factory floor ever to push a cart or
because
to clean a fucking toilet.
Because he built it. He deserves it.
Exactly. I don't agree. I don't agree because without someone cleaning the fucking floors, without someone actually pushing the carts, he's not going to make any goddamn money. That is the main point of contention that I have with a lot of people. Personally, believe that that people that build these factories deserve to take everything they can off of their profits, which is why. And by the way, even if you disagree with me, that is socialism. The idea that the surplus labor value that they are extracting from you is something that should at least be democratically organized. As a workforce, you should be able to say, hey, man, the janitorial staff need new mops. You know, our mops are in fucking in a dire state here, you know? Instead of giving that money to faceless shareholders at the tippy top who didn't even build the fucking factory. Also, workers built the factory. Remember that. It's not the fucking bosses. They never put the bricks down to build that goddamn factory. They just had money. They just had capital, upfront money to build the factory. But ultimately,
worst example. What about the people who take a risk, who put in some of their money and take a risk? They have an idea. I'm gonna make this for. Even though the carrot on the stick, right? The carrot at the end of the stick is profit and luxury and the good life. They still do things that they can risk and they balls deep to get there, right? And that's what makes the things that are grandiose. And what about all the countries that have these systems, right? Where nobody's rewarded for going higher. What do? Nothing.
That's really interesting. That's interesting you say that because you're wrong.
They're lazy as fuck.
You're wrong. Literally, fucking a closer system to a social democracy that has like higher levels of socialization and higher tax rates has more billionaires per capita than the United States of America. So you're objectively wrong on that front. Not only that, but also European social democracies routinely lap the United States of America in innovation. So you're wrong on that front as well. The idea that the boss took a risk always forgets that the worker is also taking a risk. And the funniest part about the biggest, as a whisk, like a wabbit, a silly wabbit. You want to know what the fucking biggest risk that the factory owner has though? is to be relegated to being a worker again. Because when you lose all your money in a fucking business, they don't put you in jail. They don't fucking kill you. They don't kill your family. They don't do any of those things. You just have to go back to fucking work and be a worker one more time. And the bosses fucking know that they never treat the workers well, which is why that is the major reason as to why they never want to fucking default. And that's why they constantly advocate for the system that they set in place.
Damn. Even though
by the way,
fair enough. What's up?
On a more joking note, even ChatGPT agrees with me on the Gordon Ramsay event.
I saw that. I asked ChatGPT. I showed Chat the answer. I think actually somebody fed to me.
Continue. Yeah.
Regardless.
Anyway, there's also plenty of safeguards with respect to owners. Whenever they do default, there's, Chapter 11 bankruptcy in numerous ways that capital owners can at the very least continue living their lives in a comfortable way. No such safeguard measures, comparable safeguard measures are ever afforded to the worker. You have to if you get downsized in a company, 400 Twitch employees were laid off today. Some of them don't even fucking know if they've been laid off or not. Okay? They might get a severance package that is entirely up to Amazon.
They should know.
They're
garbage.
No, that is entirely dependent on Amazon to make that decision. They suck. They're good. None of that fucking matters. It is outside of their control, and that's the point. Okay?
Okay.
And basically, what happens?
I'm not being an asshole. I generally think that when you know you are creating value, when you know you're doing good and you're rolling. Dude, the company sees your value and you're hard to let go of. If you're fucking useless and you don't do shit, you get clapped. Of course you do.
No, whoever they consider to be replaceable, even though their work is fucking meaningful, but it's menial, will often be the people that they replace. And also, there's so much nepotism that operates within these fields as well. I know it's funny me saying that, but there's usually people that the managers like. Because there are so many different instances where there's so many circumstances where like the best possible person is not put up for the job. Come on, that is absolutely unimaginably false. You've worked in a place, so you know that can't be the truth.
In esports, that's super hardcore true. Nepotism is fucking massive. It's
closest
huge.
Place that you can, which brings me back to my point about sports. The closest you can get to a truly meritocratic system is sports, organized sports, at the professional level. And even those guys still have unions. And that's part of the reason why they can make such demands. They can have such highly valued contracts. But never forget, if LeBron James is worth $100 million, or if he generated if he has a $100 million wage, right? Let's say he doesn't, but whatever.
Yeah.
His boss, the guy who owns the fucking team, is making billions.
But I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, these guys are valuable in a lot of ways. Not only on the field when they throw the basket into the basketball. Okay, these are valuable in terms of jersey sales, advertising, marketing, brand connection. They're a vehicle for a lot of their fucking sponsors and whatnot. That's how it is. Sometimes even some of these stars,
but the fucking owner's not doing shit. The owner just has money. That's the point. The owner's not doing the marketing. The owner's not doing anything meaningful. Elon Musk is not doing anything fucking meaningful at Twitch. I mean, he's demonstrated that over and over again. All he's doing is tweeting old ass fucking 9gag memes.
All you do, Hasan, is state problems when you fail to state a singular instance of a solution.
That's great.
What is the solution?
Thank you for asking. I think that
socialistic system
the solution isn't necessarily enough either, right?
No, well, do you want me to give you an answer?
Problem.
Do you want me to give you an answer? I have an answer. Thank you so much for asking. Okay. My solution to the current ongoing problems is by starting as small as you possibly can and creating a mechanism of pushback. Because the workplace principle of united you bargain, divided you beg is true across every facet of society. So the only way to do that is by unionizing your workplace and ensuring that you have some level of workplace protections. Now, that might allow you to be able to fucking sleep on the job every now and then. But ultimately, the people that actually fucking generate zero value and yet take all of the rewards are sleeping every goddamn day, and society expects them to sleep. Because they're shareholders, and shareholder value is supremely important. So much so that there is literally legal restrictions called the fiduciary responsibility.
But
You have to care about improving
in a workplace that was unionized or not?
What?
Have you ever worked at a place that was usually
I worked at a place
unionized
that got unionized afterwards.
afterwards?
But I work with unions regularly, so
you never
I'm
had
very
on
familiar
the
with
field unionized work.
I work with unions regularly, so I am very familiar with how they operate.
Maybe call this a coincidence or an empirical bias or anecdotal.
Anecdotal bias, yes.
Every place that that worked at that was unionized was absolute dog shit. Dog shit. That's what it is.
There are a lot of hidden benefits that you probably did not recognize. According to the NLRB, at least, unionization improves wages and benefits at the minimum. 10% increase on your wages and benefits across the board. Unionization not only benefits unionized workplaces, but unionization actually benefits non-unionized workplaces because it's still through competition forces other places to also improve their wages. Now, in countries like France, for example, there are such over-encompassing collective bargaining agreements that encompass the entire fucking sector that it quite literally is the reason why they have all these fucking benefits that they take for granted. Like having a retirement age at 62, which is like laughable if you consider it from, the U.S. perspective.
Can I ask you this?
Go ahead.
Without stirring any, without ruffling any feathers or whatever the fuck, right? So we are in agreement, right? That Twitch's, whether it stems from Amazon, its parent company or not, Twitch's splits regarding sub-revenue for its creators, whether it's the small creators to mid-sized creators, are completely fucking unfair and are disgusting, right?
Absolutely.
So I think this is where our disconnect is, right? What I feel like would be consistent with what you preach, which I agree with.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, shouldn't you spearhead at least, right? I'm not saying give up everything you have. You don't need to do that. That's a ridiculous expectation. But at least spearhead and put up, something and kind of spearhead that movement against them. Even though instead you're contracted with them, so you can say nothing because you're in fear of losing the very contract.
That's not true. I'm very openly critical about this, and not only have talked to Dan directly about my criticisms, but also am a firm believer that I shouldn't be the only person that has the capability of talking to Dan.
I'll join you
about these sorts of issues.
Busta, were you there in the meeting with the executives or not?
No, I actually had a one-on-one meeting because I had a one-on-one motherfucking meeting with him.
Something can be done, right? But nothing's being done because
you thought you got me there, didn't you?
I talked to all the executives. Listen.
Yeah,
we were all there. Okay, listen.
No, I wasn't there. I had a one. I think I had another.
Listen. You know for a fact when they changed the sub revenues back, right? They leveled out the total amount with the you're getting better ad revs and ad incentives.
Yeah.
For your lower sub rate, right? If they said nothing, they could have said nothing about ad revs and put your sub money way up, and you would have your guys, I got my sub rev. You would be at a raw loss compared to right now's equivalency. You would have been losing
Twitch streamers now make more.
You got what you wanted.
Twitch streamers now make more money off of ad revenue than they would have if they just had subscribers. I personally still think that they should leave that option.
This idea of a trade-off is ridiculous. That because they gave a little bit more ad revenue, it justifies the taking of the.
I don't think so. Train. I agree with you. I agree with you. You and I are in agreement.
Listen. That's like a platform saying, "Oh, we're gonna give you 20%, right?" Which is unfair, and then saying, "Oh, you know what? We'll give you 30," and everyone goes, "Oh, yes, you gave us more. You didn't have to." No, it is fucking they started at a ripoff rate, and they gave you another rate to make it look like it's better, but that's also a ripoff rate. Do you understand?
Yes,
he's right.
Yes,
it's presented disingenuously. That it's disgusting. It's pure greed and pure.
It's still leveled out though. It ended up being the same thing or better. It'll be
the increased ad should not come at the cost of sub splits being cut. That's ridiculous. The increased ad should come if the site's business model is is executed correctly.
Speaking of ads, at the
taking
top of the hour,
sub
there's a
revenue,
3-minute ad break. If
it
you no
is
longer want to see those
a
ads, all you need to do is
small
subscribe,
percentage of revenue that does
which you
not-
can do for
it doesn't
$5 or
affect
for free on the Twitch
anything.
Prime,
Anything,
or
you
by getting
understand?
gifted a
It's pure
sub.
greed and stupidity.
Whoo!
It's pure
I'm
greed
on
and stupidity.
fire with these motherfucking
agreed with
segues
that.
today, boy. God
problem
damn.
is- the problem is servers are incredibly expensive and people don't run ads. So the reason why they didn't, at the time I didn't run it, now they're automatic.
So instead of punishing the
under-
creator, they need to find a better system instead of taking from the creator's sub revenue. Do you understand? They need to find a better system to execute the ad.
want that?
I
Then
don't.
they're going to have a
It's not
built-in
about. It's not about
3
what I
minute,
want. It's what's
4 minute
right.
ad deal, right? Then sure. Then Twitch, you know what you do? They should force 3 minutes on all channels to pay for the servers. And then
Okay,
you're
can
gonna
I
have your
explain something
nine-
to you guys? Can I explain
ahead.
something to you guys? The main point of contention here should be that none of the people that actually provide value to the product, whether it be the people working at Twitch or whether it be the people that are on camera every day, work Omega Lol, are having a say in the way that this distribution is done. That
they're
is
wrong.
undemocratic. I believe that even if you arrive at the same exact fucking idea at the end of it, where we say, you know what, we like this distribution, I think that people who are playing a role in the creation of this product should have a say. That is my point.
If we listened to streamers on how this shit should be run, this shit would have the lights turned off and Amazon would have pulled out
There has
years
to
ago.
be a. That's why they're.
Streamers are bricked. They shouldn't.
listen,
it's not
they're
just
fucking
streamers.
Brain dead.
This idea where it has to be one or the other is the issue. Do you understand? There can be a middle ground. There can be a
Train is right. Train
coming
is
of
fucking
a
right.
compromise. Do you
Because
understand?
why? Because why? When they made that distribution, they wanted to improve their profit margin. Why did they improve their profit margin? Because Amazon wants the profits to go up, because right now Twitch is in the red because web serving is web hosting for live streamed video, an inventory that is untapped basically with so many opportunities to fucking run ads, is currently not running enough ads and giving them enough revenue. That is why they made this change.
They
Now
are
ultimately
punishing
streamers
the
will make
worker
more.
on their failed system. Do you understand? They need to come together and find a system which doesn't punish the work. Where are they taking the punishment? Do you understand? Aside from these firings, which you'd argue is also another form of the worker taking the hit. They need to better their their
In that
business
case,
model. Do you understand? Everyone that's taking a hit
you
because of their
have-
shit business model is the worker. That is a mistake. Do you understand? It is wrong. Shit like that should be fought against. We should have voices, whether it's on a panel, whether it's at a round table. We need to have voices to combat that. That's bullshit. You understand? That's greed. That's unfair.
We tried
It's not right.
talking to them. You know what? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Okay, that streamers are fucking dumb. At the meetings, the only feedback we got from fucking big names like Tele1 is, "Where's the 20-minute ad button?" Is the fucking feedback he gave them. We're all fucking
That's
brain dead.
insane.
Because the power can't be, right? Like the issue is this, right? For some reason, all of our issues are fought with two polarizing viewpoints, right? We either have all the way over here or all the way over here. We need to have a ground of, right, a place of discourse where we can come in the middle and say, okay, you know what? Let's compromise. Let's grab,
Fair.
the shit that we need to do here. Hey, we'll take that L. We'll take that. But we're going to need this. These guys go, okay, well, we're going to need this, but we're going to take this. We go, okay, we've come to an agreement. That's what needs to happen. But this idea where they take, and it has to be this or this is our issue in everything today. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Everything having to be one side or the other is an issue.
The
It causes so
last-
much divide.
And meanwhile,
You're right,
while we're
you're right,
having
you're
this
right.
back
The
and
last-
forth, while we're having this back and forth, you know who's not taking a fucking hit, dude? The bosses, the people that have Amazon stock, the fucking wealthy Jeff Bezos. He doesn't give a fuck. He's caked up, okay?
No.
It doesn't even matter to him.
Because they make money off the fucking bots
Hey.
at the Amazon fucking delivery service that are working with crazy conditions with profit, and then they acquired Twitch, right? But Twitch, this shit is broke. This shit isn't turning a profit. Well, where do you live in this operation that makes a profit? For them, it's an investment.
Twitch is
This shit-
Twitch is not turning profit exclusively because Amazon literally treats Twitch as a money-making operation instead of offering it more favorable video hosting fucking server
For
costs.
AWS and IBS, yes.
Yeah. Amazon could internally swap over if Amazon truly cared about Twitch being a
What
profitable
kind of
venture.
argument
They
is
could literally
that?
swap over server costs to offset it off of one of the many other profitable ventures that they have. They're not
Bro.
doing that because they don't want to do that, because they want to increase the pressure on content creators and maybe even possibly take a risk on making the content unwatchable by delivering even more ads to the fucking viewers.
Bro, that's like me saying, yo, I grow my garden green beans and I sell green beans at the market, right? Well, now I hired 20 employees to build houses, right? But we're not doing a profit because I'm feeding them green beans I could be selling. Well, in that case, just
Wait, that's
don't
precisely
sell them
wait,
green
wait,
beans
wait, wait.
then.
That's how all business
What?
works. No, that's how all business works. That's how all business works. What you're describing is quite literally how businesses work regardless.